Ever since I was a little kid, I've been interested in the visual arts. As long as I can remember, I've always been drawing and creating things, and I had such a wild imagination. There was actually one time where me and my brother, we had a little arts and crafts room, and we went into the room, and we just created and made a mess and threw paint on the walls. And my parents were so upset with us, but they actually kind of were amused by what we made. When I was a child, I've always liked art, but I was always told that if I were to pursue art, I'd be a starving artist, and there was no way around that. And I actually went to high school and took a lot of advanced courses in science and biology, and I was on my way to becoming a genetic engineer. And through a strange turn of events, I actually had a genetic disorder, curable. But I went to the doctors and got very close with them, and they were helping me to follow that path. But in terms of all that, the symptoms of the disorder were actually affecting my social life, my personal life. It altered my appearance very much. So I was having a hard time in high school. And what helped me get through that was my art. I would draw, I would create, I got really good, and I was very happy with it. I found comfort in it, and I found myself in my art. And I realized at that point when I had to choose a college that genetic engineering wasn't going to make me happy, and that art was really what I wanted. I liked graphic design because it allowed me to translate my drawings into the computer to make something that would sell and would allow me to live in this world and survive. But I knew I couldn't just sell my art without a business background. I can use my marketing and my art and combine the two to help communicate to other people and to get them to arrive at a common goal, whether it's selling something, whether it's promoting an idea. And that seemed to be the best way to sell art. And art history just came along because I was required to take credits for my art courses. And I just really found that I liked art history, so I decided to pursue it. I find myself that I never leave the Calkins Hall building because it's my home. Everyone there is always constantly working in art. If you're enrolled in a class, you have access to the studios there because you pay a lab fee. So if I have taking a ceramics course, I can go into the ceramics building whenever I want and just work. And it allows me to be creative. There's also several clubs like Creative Genius, the Form Gallery, and Haga, and each of them creates a community for the students to show their art, to share their art, to become a professional artist, and to ultimately get better and enjoy what they do. So I find there's a lot of help there. And additionally, the professors are always so willing to help the students. You can talk to them whenever. You can just walk into their office. If you need an opinion on a piece, you just walk in and you say, hey, what can I do to improve this? Or hey, what do you think of this idea? And they're willing to sit down and talk with you. I was very lucky to get my internship at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It turns out there was a professor here, Professor Giordano, who I believe is working in the Center for University Studies. Professor Giordano was asking for a recommendation for the internship at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. She gave a very specific set of skills in terms of having the visual eye, as we call it, being able to see where things go in compositions. And my professor, the chair of the department, recommended me for the position. So I was very, very fortunate to get such a high recommendation from one of my favorite professors. At the Met, I do quite a lot of different things. I started out being what they call a visual merchandiser, so it was my job to set up the displays for all the merchandise, work in the store, create an interesting environment for customers to draw them into the building and want to purchase product. And when I handed them my resume, they realized I had a graphic design background. So they were really excited because the graphic designer in that department was completely overwhelmed, and I ended up designing the layouts and the designs for all the Christmas displays. My designs are displayed over the Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center, so you can see them from the ice skating rink. And it's really cool because the theme for the stores this year was a winter wonderland and let it snow. So I had to make the building look like it was snowing without weighing it down. And it was difficult because the snowflakes and the materials we were using were made of metal. And how do you make metal feel light? And it was successful. We were able to lay it out and make it look really nice. And the end product, it was so cool to see my graphic designs turn into something so much bigger. Ultimately, I feel that Hofstra was the right choice for me, and as a young, ignorant little girl, I didn't realize that. And money stuff aside, I'm so close to the city that anything is possible right now, and I know I want to work in New York. And at an art school, I wouldn't have gotten the attention from my professors that I got here. And without them, I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't have got the encouragement to grow and pursue what I want. And I'm very grateful for that.